Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in to another Premier League predictions video where it's time for match week number 7 of the 21-22 Premier League season, the last one before the dreaded international break. And there are a lot of big games this weekend, it has to be said. But before we go, let's have a quick look at how everyone did in match week number 6. I had another pretty good week in all honesty. I got 10 points, including 3 perfect scores. That was Everton to beat Norwich by 2-0, Leeds to lose 2-1 to West Ham, and Watford Newcastle to be a 1-1 draw. And I also got the Arsenal outcome as well. So very well done to myself, 10 points. But in the comments section, the top scorer with a magnificent score of 13 points was BBL, and he got 4 perfect scores, if I seem to remember. He got the Everton score, he got the Leeds score, he also got Watford Newcastle, and I do believe he got the Crystal Palace Brighton score. So very well done, Paul, good friend of the channel, of course. So we move into match week number 7, and yes, I know there is one game dominating proceedings. That will be coming at the very end of this video. It is Liverpool-Manchester City, but we do start off with the game at Old Trafford, the early kickoff between Manchester United and Everton. There have been 3 draws and 1 win to Manchester United in the last... one win to Manchester United, 1 win to Everton and 3 draws. The last draw was a 3-3 draw between the sides. Well, Manchester United, I have to say that was a terrible performance against Aston Villa. Yes, I know people are going to say that, 28 shots... and if I'm being honest, obviously Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw came off injured in this game, but they were terrible. They were really poor. I mean, Aston Villa deserved to win. There's no denying that. And Bruno Fernandes missing a penalty. I think people are getting a little bit on his back, which you can understand. But what I don't get is why Manchester United fans are actually saying, yes, look, it's a really bad result for Manchester United. It's another really bad defeat at home. 3 defeats in 4. It's not a good form. It's not good form at all. But all he has to change things eventually. He has to change things. Stop persisting with McFred. Stop it. Just honestly stop it. It's not working. You can quite clearly see it's not working. Bring in a Matic. Bring in just somebody, but why he keeps persisting with McFred, I will never know. So he's definitely under pressure, and they have to beat Villarreal on Wednesday, and then go into this Everton game, because Everton have done very well recently. Another victory, 2-0 against Norwich. Like I think everyone expected Everton to beat Norwich City. In all honesty, I just think the way that Norwich are playing at the moment, they're just terrible. But Everton, Townsend penalty, fell from Quebec. That was definitely a penalty. And then Damari Gray plays into Doucouré, a very good finish into the bottom corner. Will Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Will Richarlison be fit? You would hope they would be fit for this game, especially Calvert-Lewin, because Calvert-Lewin did cause Manchester United a lot of problems last season as well. My prediction for this game, I think Manchester United will bounce back, and I'm going to go for them to get a 2-1 win against Everton. I think Everton will get a goal. They always do seem to grab a goal at Old Trafford, but I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to the Red Devils in that one. And now we have Burnley against Norwich City. 3 wins to Burnley, 1 draw, 1 win to Norwich City. The last result was a 2-0 win to Burnley got a 2-2 with Leicester City. Almost won it at the end, but Chris Wood is just offside as well. But Maxwell Cornet started his first game and grabbed a goal. Very good finish as well. Volley past Schmeichel. People can say Schmeichel should do better, but it's the power of the strike that takes it past Schmeichel. And I thought Burnley actually played very well. Unlucky to not go away with 3 points. And Burnley, they do have to start winning games. That's for sure. They haven't won all season yet. So this game could be a bit of a favourable one, because Norwich City yet again very poor against Everton. You just know it when a side is ready for the championship. It's too good for the championship, but really poor for the Premier League. Norwich City are that team, unfortunately, and I don't see it improving anytime soon. I mean, people could probably say this is maybe Norwich's best time to play Burnley. Maybe try and get a draw out of it, but I honestly cannot see it, and I think Burnley will go away with the 3 points. So my prediction for this game, I think Burnley are going to win this one. I am going to go for a 2-0 win to Burnley in that one. And now we move on to Stamford Bridge, which is Chelsea against Southampton. 1 win to Chelsea, 1 win to Southampton, and 3 draws. The last result was a 3-3 draw between the sides, but obviously things have changed for the better for one of these teams, and it's changed the worse for another one of these teams. Chelsea 1-0 defeat to Manchester City in the last game, and it was deserved. Man City deserved to win that game. I can't remember the last time Chelsea sat back so much, allowed Manchester City onto them, and the more the game went on, I always felt that Manchester City were going to get that winner. And you know, they managed to get it. Gabriel Jesus, very, very good finish in the end. Yes, it's deflected. Mendy had a very, very good game as well, but Chelsea, that's why Thomas Tuchel has done very, very well. But Chelsea sat back too much, allowed City onto them, and it was a very good victory for the citizens. Southampton, 1-0 defeat to Wolves. Really, really unfortunate how they've managed to lose that game. Worrying signs for Hassan Hutel, I have to say. But there are signs that he is getting better in games. It was just obviously Redmond had a goal ruled out offside. I think they met a very good goalkeeper in Jose Sa as well. So a very, very good win for Wolves away at Southampton. So the wins will come eventually for Southampton. I think the international break is coming at the right time for them. They can regroup, they can go and talk a few things over, and I do think that they will get wins eventually. But my prediction for this game, I think Chelsea will bounce back after that defeat to Manchester City. I'm going to go for a Chelsea 2, Southampton 0. And now we have struggling Leeds United against Watford. 2 wins to Leeds and 3 wins to Watford. The last result was a 2-0 win to Leeds United in the Premier League. That was 2000 was the last time they met in the Premier League. So it's been a long time coming for these two. Leeds United, I mean, they were out without Patrick Bamford. Rodrigo up front did not work. Completely did not work. And, if you're going to play someone up front, you probably play Rafinha. Simple as. You would probably play Rafinha up front. Leeds United were, again, poor against West Ham. I know they took the lead through Rafinha. A lovely, lovely finish, it has to be said. But, West Ham went at half-time and, equalised with an own goal from Junior Firpo. And then Mikel Antonio, who I thought had a very, very good game, absolutely bullied the Leeds United backline and scored a lovely finish to make it 2-1 to West Ham in the very dying minutes. So, Leeds United, I am worried. I am very, very worried for this Leeds United team. I don't think they're going to sack Bielsa, but I think the worrying thing for Leeds fans is I think he could walk. I actually do think he could walk. I think this is the first time I think he's been in a position like this where Leeds United in the relegation zone and they don't really look like winning games, unfortunately. So I think if things don't improve drastically, I think Bielsa could walk from that Leeds job. I really, really do. But for Watford, 1-1 against Newcastle. It was Ismaila Sarr rescuing what was a very good point in the end. I mean, Newcastle should have won it at the end, but Watford deserved to get something at least out of the game. I thought Kiko Femia was a bit lucky. Elbow. I can't remember who it was into, but that you've seen red cards given for that. You have seen red cards given for that as well. This is a very tough one to call because Watford. To be fair, Watford are actually picking up points, and I actually think they'll go to Leeds United, and I'm actually going to go for them to win. I think the attacking three of Hugo Hernandez, of Dennis and Sarr, I think will have enough to beat Leeds. I'm going to give Leeds a goal, but I think Leeds will lose, and I think the international break comes at the very right time for the Whites. I'm going to go for Leeds United 1, Watford 2. I think Watford will go away with 3 points in this one, and to pile the pressure on Marcelo Bielsa. So now we have Wolves against Newcastle. There have been 5 draws in the last 5 meetings, and the last meeting was a 1-1 draw. Believe it or not, the last 5 meetings between Wolves and Newcastle have ended 1-1. So it's quite an obvious prediction for this one, if you want to say that. But Wolves, a very good victory against Southampton. Lovely to see Raul Jimenez back on the score sheet as well. Very, very good goal. Composure to take it past a couple of Southampton players and then bury it in the net. Although, to be fair, I did think Alex McCarthy did give him a lot of that left-hand side to aim at. But it's a fantastic goal from Jimenez, and I think hopefully that gets him down to get more goals now. I've been very, very impressed with the way he's actually been playing. Yes, that bad injury has really affected him, but what you can say is that he is actually doing a lot better than many people would have predicted, I think. So, very good run for Wolves, and now Wolves fans will be hoping that kind of kick-starts their season. Jose Sa was absolutely magnificent in the Wolves goal, kept out a number of saves as well, so very, very impressive from Jose Sa. Newcastle United will be kicking themselves how they didn't manage to get a win over Watford. Lovely goal from Sean Longstaff, a long range effort into the top corner. Ben Foster does get a hand to it, but it goes past him as well. Jacob Murphy missed an absolute sitter. He should score. 1-on-1 with Foster. All he has to do is basically go around him, scores, but he doesn't do it. I think there was another one with St Maximan where he basically Foster's out of his goal, and all he has to do is basically curl it like that. But yeah, obviously, that's the sign of a struggling team in Newcastle. They are definitely struggling. Haven't won a game this season as well. So as I've said, 5 out of the last 5 meetings between Wolves and Newcastle have ended 1-1. Guess what I'm going to predict? I think it's going to be the same scoreline. I'm going to go Wolves 1, Newcastle United 1. I can't see anyone winning this game. Newcastle always seem to get a late goal against Wolves, and I expect that to be much the same as well. So I'm going to go Wolves 1, Newcastle United 1. And now we have Brighton against Arsenal. This is the evening kickoff on Saturday. 2 wins to Brighton, 2 wins to Arsenal, 1 draw. The last result was a 1-0 win to Arsenal. Brighton have managed to, well, I think the term is stole a point away from Crystal Palace. And Crystal Palace were the better team in that game. But what you can say is Brighton never gave up. They managed to get that late goal. Mopé as well. You loved it. He loves a goal against Palace, doesn't he? So great for Graham Potter, and Brighton are near the top of the league, which is mental when you think about it. But I think the thing is with Brighton is that it's all about consistency with them. And I tell you something, if they don't have Yves Bissouma in that midfield, then I think they're a much lesser team. Without him as well. He was fantastic again. Really, really good yesterday. Arsenal, congratulations, 3-1 win over Tottenham. They blew Tottenham away. Absolutely blew them away. Emil Smith-Rowe, Saka and Aubameyang goals were fantastic. The Aubameyang goal was brilliant. From Ramsdale to Xhaka to Emil Smith-Rowe. Really, really good. I thought Odegaard was very, very good as well. So it's a very, very good win for Arsenal, and you have to say that it is going to be a very intriguing affair. But Brighton are in good form. Arsenal are in very, very good form. I think, though, that Brighton are going to bring Arsenal fans back down with a bump. I think Brighton are going to win this game. I actually do. I think Mopé could actually cause that. Mopé could cause that Arsenal backline a lot of problems. I am going to go for Brighton to win this one. I'm going to go Brighton 2, Arsenal 1. I think I think Mope is a handful, and Basuma in that midfield I think is going to be very, very interesting. I really like the look of that Cucurella as well at left back. I think he's a very, very good left back. So, yep, I think Arsenal fans will be coming back down with a bump, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Brighton in this one. So that moves on to the Saturday games, and we move on to the Sunday games now. We have Crystal Palace against Leicester City. 1 win to Palace, 3 wins to Leicester, and 1 draw. The last result was a 1-1 draw between the sides. Crystal Palace, unlucky. Unlucky not to win the M23 derby, I have to say. It was very, very disappointing to lose that last-minute goal. That will feel like a defeat for Patrick Vieira, but Patrick Vieira is getting his ideas across, and it is good to see. But Palace, you should have won that game. You should have won that game. Jordan Ayew had an absolute gilt-edged chance, put it wide. If that's a Benteke, if that's an Edward, if that is a Zaha, I think that's 2-0, and I think Palace go on and win that game. And then obviously we all know about Mope's equaliser. But Palace are getting their ideas across, and I've been very, very impressed with them. Leicester City, I don't know what's happened to Leicester City. I honestly don't know. Yes, I know there's been a lot of injuries for them, but unfortunately, I just think going to Warsaw on Thursday is going to take out a lot out of the players. Hostile atmosphere. They're going to Palace on Sunday. That's another hostile atmosphere. Leicester City are going to have... I think the international break is coming at the right time for Leicester City because they'll be getting players back. They'll be getting players back from injury as well. So my prediction for this game, I think Crystal Palace are going to win this one. I saw a lot from Palace yesterday that I think that they can cause Leicester problems. Leicester will be tired. I'll be interested to see what kind of team Rodgers plays against Palace. I'll be interested to see what kind of team he plays against Warsaw. But for me, I'm going to go Palace to win this one. I'm going Crystal Palace 2, Leicester City 0. I think Palace could be winning another game under Patrick Vieira. And now we have Tottenham against Aston Villa. 4 wins to Tottenham and 1 win to Villa. The last result was a 2-1 win to Aston Villa. Tottenham. Well, the curse of the manager of the month. I mean, you have lost, 3-0 to Palace, 3-0 to... help me here. Who did they lose 3-0 to? They lost 3-0 to Palace. They lost 3-0 to Chelsea, and now they've lost 3-1 to Arsenal. It's not good. Not good at all from Tottenham. And I have to say, Harry Kane was a disgrace against Arsenal. He was an absolute disgrace. How many chances did he have? I mean, a firing Harry Kane scores that chance where he puts it over Ramsdale and it goes past the post. But he was terrible. Absolutely terrible. And this is the worrying thing for Tottenham, is that yes, Son might have scored, but that first half was ridiculous. Spurs were just not set on. Defensively, absolutely shambles as well. So it's only going to get worse before it gets better for Tottenham, I think. And they are coming up against a rampant Aston Villa, who managed to get a 1-0 win at Old Trafford. And to be fair, Aston Villa deserved their victory at Old Trafford. Fantastic performance from them against Manchester United. So it's going to be an interesting game, this one. So I'm actually going to go for Villa to pile the pressure on to Nuno. I think Villa are going to win this one. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Aston Villa. And I do think that Nuno is definitely under pressure. That is for sure. So I'm going to go Aston Villa 2. Tottenham 1, Aston Villa 2. And now we have a London derby, which we have West Ham against Brentford. And the last meetings, I was checking the stats recently. West Ham and Brentford only met twice, and it's 2 wins to West Ham. So a 2-1 win was the last meeting between the sides. But West Ham getting a very good victory against Leeds United. Very, very impressive it was as well. I have to say, I've been very impressed with West Ham. Antonio was excellent again. Souček was unlucky not to be on the score sheet as well. But West Ham continue to impress. Really, really impressed. I think they've got... who have they got? Rapid Vienna at the London Stadium on Thursday. So you'd expect them to win that one. Brentford, I have to say, Brentford were fantastic against Liverpool. Really, really unlucky not to win that game as well. I've been very, very impressed with the way that Brentford have been playing. It really, really have been. It's going to be very, very intriguing to see how well they're going to do this season. But this is a really tricky one to call, because Brentford will be on a high from getting a 3-3 against Liverpool. West Ham will be on a high from winning a very late game against Leeds United. I am going to go for Desmond. I think this is going to be a cracking game, and I'm going to go for a 2-2 between West Ham and Brentford. I think Tony might give Brentford a lot of problems, but then again, I think Antonio will give Brentford a lot of problems as well. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 between West Ham and Brentford. And the final game is Liverpool against Manchester City. 1 win to Liverpool, 1 draw, and 3 wins to City. The last result was a 4-1 win to Manchester City. Liverpool, very, very, well, poor defensively, but good attacking. Good attacking. Mo Salah, 100 goals in 151 games. That is fastest to 100 than any other Liverpool player, so very, very well done to him. Curtis Jones, an absolute howitzer of a shot. Yes, I know Christopher Ayer gets a touch on it. And Jota, Diogo Jota is what I'll say as well. But this is a big game, this one, because Liverpool didn't have their fans against Manchester City last season. I think it's going to be a different sort of game this time as well. Man City were fantastic against Chelsea. Saw out that game 1-0. Could have been 2. I mean, Grealish had a very good opportunity, but Mendy had a very good save as well. City have only conceded 1 goal all season, but hostile atmosphere at Anfield, that could be very, very interesting. It's going to be a cracking game. It's going to be a cracking game as well. I don't think Liverpool are going to win this game. First off, I think it's going to be interesting who plays in the midfield, because I think that City midfield, who was it? It was Rodri, De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva. That kind of worked as well. But Pep, he does overthink in the big games. However, I do think he is a very, very good tactician in this game. However, he doesn't have a great record at Anfield. This is a really tough one to call. I am going to go for a draw. I think it's going to be a finisher on Liverpool 2, Manchester City 2. I think it's going to be a draw in this one. Liverpool 2, City 2. So that is it. That is Match Week 7 done and dusted. As I've said, leave your predictions in the comment section down below. And like Bluebird Legend, you will get a shout out in the next video. So we will go through our predictions very quickly. So Manchester United 2, Everton 1, Burnley 2, Norwich 0, Chelsea 2, Southampton 0, Leeds United 1, Watford 2, Wolves 1, Newcastle United 1, Brighton 2, Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 2, Leicester City 0, Tottenham 1, Aston Villa 2, West Ham United 2, Brentford 2, Liverpool 2, Manchester City 2. So that is it. That is Match Week 7 done and dusted. And enjoy the football. Liverpool Man City is the big game as well. We will see what happens in that one. But until then, it's goodbye from me. If you do like the content, please hit that subscribe button. Drop a like on the video as well. And we will see what happens in these games. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye for now.